Crew member personal log recording.
This is the Razorleaf file number 3, done by myself, Michael Knight. Found 2 slates sitting on the dinner table. Very stealthy, Stache. That being said, having listened to the first 2 slates, may as well give my assessment of Stache himself. In all the years I've known him, I've only known him by the name of Stache. I've been able to deduce based on basic math he's given me that he said he was 20 when the start of the Colony War began. And that's when he joined up on the side of the Freestar Collective. Puts his age at approximately 42 years old. The secrecy behind his name, or his true name anyway, may have to do with his past because of the fact that he was born on the planet of Neon, not Aquila as he would lead many to believe. He was raised by his grandmother and grandfather, his grandmother by the name of Penny, and his grandfather by the name of Good Handlebar. I literally think that he was making a joke to me that his grandmother's first name was Pencil, as in pencil mustache, and his grandfather's name was Good, as in, hey, you've got a good handlebar mustache. Bits and pieces of what he's told me seem to be somewhat accurate, one of them being that his grandparents actually abandoned him, and they joined List as a group of settlers. His technical prowess was discovered at an early age when he began creating and modifying armor for the various gangs on Neon, in particularly on the Ebb side. I believe it was this particular line of work that got him enough credits to get himself off of the mean streets of Neon. In 2308, war broke out between the Freestar Collective and the United Colonies. He joined up the Freestar Collective almost immediately and was put inside the mech division. He still harbors some resentment towards the United Colonies because he refuses to step foot into their space unless it's absolutely necessary. The war ended in 2311. I don't know exactly all the circumstances on how Stache ended up in Aquila, but he did. He has a pretty big obsession with the Trackers Alliance and the lore therein. It was some short time after this that he began hunting for the Trackers Alliance. It's my understanding, based off of conjecture and hearsay, that he was less than a successful hunter. It wasn't long after he'd been in the Trackers Alliance that he began modifying their weapons and armor. I don't know exactly all the circumstances behind it, but he also began collecting Astras. I believe at the time they thought that the banks were going to fail and that hard currency was going to be something that was an absolute necessity. And it seems like he never gave up on that fact. Fast forward to 2330, that's when I showed up. I picked up a couple of bounties, learned how to hunt, and got recruited by Inevitable. I'm not going to lie, I learned what Stache could do with weapons and armor, and I wanted to recruit him just so I could have him on my ship. It wasn't until later we became friends. Here I was, a Starborn, having gone through Unity dozens of times, and he was just this poor soul that was really good at what he did, the one thing he could do. And I thought I could help him, and he could help me. So I taught him how to be like me, how to be a Starborn. It wasn't until later I realized that he was just so good of a person, saw the good in everyone, and it was something that I no longer knew how to do. He learned really quickly. It wasn't long after that I was captivated by Sarah from my universe. And I convinced Stache that he should go to the Unity, that he should move on. When I explained that going into Unity gave you a chance to start over at a pivotal point, he did. And he met a universe counterpart that turned out to be, sort of a lie. He also picked up some type of reptile, like cat dog, that snores like a freight train. Delgado. He would kill everyone in my universe that I cared about. Stache, having moved on to the next universe, would be safe, but only for so long. It is my belief that touching the artifact, along with Delgado's transfer to this universe using my quantum pairing unit, freed my consciousness and allowed it to piggyback on my universe counterpart. In disguise, it would appear that Delgado, or Stargado as I've come to call him, would pretend to be a inept caricature of Stache. I still find it comic that he escaped to the United Colonies, the one place he hates the most, and a constellation. But good on him, because no one looked for him there. If it weren't for those turns of events, he wouldn't know to come to Vectara to look for me. That puts us about where we are right now. More or less shy of a year or two. I'm not quite sure what the big deal was. I did shoot a guy that used to be the hunter that said he's not the hunter anymore, but he was always the hunter, so I shot him. I don't exactly understand what the big deal was, but then again, I do understand what the big deal was. Again, I'm dealing with two different types of personalities inside my head. The me from this universe and the me from my home universe, and here, and maybe Stache is right. Maybe I shouldn't be the captain. End personal log, Michael Knight.
Affirmative, crewmate, logging you out.
Safety's off or whatever. See you trackers in the thing. You know the thing.